Checking all that to check. Checking. Checking. See if this is going. See how this is doing. Oh, not that one. That was the stream that I just had to cancel because it was going weird. Let's see how this one's doing. Channel. Is this the right one? That's it. See. Okay. Now we're set up there. And good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name's Ryan. I am one of those guys who get stuff at thrift stores and flea markets and garage sales, tries to make a couple bucks online. Got a few interesting finds today. Hit the thrift store yesterday. Good finds for it was a last chance Goodwill with stuff's a lot cheaper. And sold a couple books. One that was real quick and one that's been sitting around a while. So that is what we're going to jump into this morning. So first, sales. Sales. Whoa. Falling books. These. Okay. This one. This Viking Husqvarna Designer Ruby Sampler. It is a pattern guide for embroidery machine. It doesn't have a CD with it, but a lot of these are automatic nowadays. But this is the guide, I guess, of what's on the CD. Sold it $10, $8, $10, something like that. I think I was originally expecting to get more for it. I think comps when I got it a year ago were higher, but it didn't go that high. But eventually sold. So somebody's getting it. I guess somebody got an embroidery machine. So Husqvarna stuff is worth looking at. Typically, Husqvarna is one of the more higher end sewing machines. I know my wife has one. So that's worth taking a peek at whenever you see something Husky. Tools and that. So anyway, and next up, fast sale. Told you, eye of the world. Wheel of time. Stuff sells every time, except the one I got still on the shelf. I don't know why that one hasn't sold. But Wheel of Time, Eye of the World. This one was $8. This one went $9, and the Husky went for $10. So yeah, get these when you see them at $1 or less, because they're $10 or more for paperbacks. Typically 12 to 15 or more for hardcovers. Get them. Get them. So, anyway, that's my sales. Stuff I found. This is fun. Gonna go low to high here. Maybe. Bundles first. This Classic Warplanes book. And this was, I got it last chance as well, so I didn't spend $1 on this. This was $0.25. Books like this are worth minimum. Sometimes they're worth 10, 15, 20 bucks by themselves. Sometimes you can find one that's super rare that's worth a bunch more. I would come across some every now and then, but at minimum, these are worth bundling up. I actually may have another one or two that I need to pull because they haven't sold and throw these together in a lot. So worth snagging. Books about fighter planes. Next up, another bundling, got to bundle up. Shel Silverstein, kids poetry books. I think I've got another one over there that I could throw with this one, and these are the type I could probably get 2 for 10, 2 for 12 on eBay. So Shel Silverstein, worth grabbing and bundling. Next up, I love grabbing these books because sometimes they're worth a bunch, sometimes not. But I may have even sold this one before. Either that or this one. I had my eye on it, and when it went to the quarter bin, I was going to buy it. Red Devil of Communism. These old sort of Cold War era, communism is the devil. Usually about Pentecostal or Baptist pastors from back then, and they're real interesting reads because, conspiracy theories and all that sort of stuff. That stuff tends to sell. So, this is by E.J. Daniels, D.D. I think I've actually sold something maybe written by him before, but I've sold stuff like this before in the $10 to $20 range. The weirder it is, the more it goes for. So, it's not necessarily author specific, but sometimes topic specific. But anyway, I'm not sure if there's collectors or conspiracy theorists who go through this stuff, but it's interesting how the message adapts over time. So, because this is from the 50s, I think. This is 1954. So I'll $10 to $20 maybe. At minimum, I'll get 7 to 10. So it was worth grabbing to take a chance on at the quarter bins. Next up, this one. Okay. I'm going to probably read this one first. I don't think I've ever read this one. The Crow trade paperback. This is a 2002 printing. The older printings go for a chunk more. This one goes for about $15 on eBay. So, it's pretty highly heralded comic trade paperback, and the movie was okay. So, it's worth so there was a bundle of trade paperbacks. Some of them I got from my boys. They ain't getting this one. But I grabbed it because I'm going to read it and then probably sell it. Next up, got one for you that wants to know your opinion on value on. Steve Bartkowski, Intercepted by Dan DeHaan. Game Plan for Spiritual Growth. Steve Bartkowski is folks in Georgia love this guy because of the Falcons. This is signed. And it's also signed to somebody. It's not just Steve Bartkowski, which I'm not sure which would affect. If you think that affects value on this one doesn't really sell on eBay. It's like everything out there is like $5, $6, $7, but this one's signed. So I'm actually curious if I couldn't get a little bit more for this locally. I may post it on a Facebook group for $15 to $20 and see if somebody bites. And I may put it up there to see if somebody eBay. But I think I'll put this on Facebook to see if somebody jumps on it. But yeah, Steve Bartkowski signed book. It was at the quarter bins. So yeah, I'll grab a signed book in the quarter bins and see what happens. So I think I'll get something for it. But I don't know that it'll be more than $10. If I get $15, I'll be surprised. But I may try at that level. I think I'll at least get 10 on it. So anyway, there you go. Signed books for cheap. Next up, this was fun. This one's fun. Haunted House Tracing Rub. It's like a coloring book with tracing paper over the pictures. And it looks like everything's there and it wasn't used at all. So I think so. And I found this specific one on eBay. There weren't any solds, but there were 2 on it for over $25. So I'll probably put this one up for $19.99 and take anything over 10. I suspect that's probably closer to what value is. So, at least right now. Anyway, Haunted House Tracing Rub, vintagey. So worth just again quarter bin. As I say, is old looking coloring book. Let's grab that. Particularly if they're clean. Some older coloring books that are clean have certain ones have a little bit of value, so they're worth grabbing and looking up. Particularly pop culture stuff. Like if you find a Transformers or a GI Joe one, yeah, grab those. Sometimes even if they're colored in a little bit. Depending on the franchise and what it is, this is more generic haunted house. This thing would be like $30 to $50 if this was like a Transformers one. So worth looking up, worth grabbing at those bins. So finally, no, not finally, because we're gonna get to the AV equipment in a minute. Next up, the Book of Time. What this is by Sunlight, which is I think Sunlight. It says Inquisitor Corporation, but I think this goes with the Sunlight curriculum. Homeschooler. A lot of homeschoolers do what's called timelines, and what you do is when you're studying history, you have a chart or something of the years, and you write in what happened that year while you're studying history. And it gives you. I like this. I have a history degree because it gives you a really nice big picture sometimes of how things relate to each other in time, and sometimes that happened at the same time as this happened. So that's fun. So this is completely blank. So this was a neat little score. I'll be able to probably get this within a week or two for $25. I'll be able to sell this for about $25. I think it's about what I saw on the comps. Maybe a little bit more because it's clean. But homeschooling materials, if you do homeschooling, you know what it is, and if you don't, you may have like, what in the world? And wonder what's going on. But this was an easy grab. I almost recognized something like this right away. I was like, hey, that looks homeschooling because I homeschool. So, finally, audiovisual stuff. This was worth. I got 4 boxes of these. 4 Vivitar S100 rotary slide trays in the box, and these are pristine. Not that these things break a bunch, I guess. I don't know. But really good shape. The boxes are in decent condition, so it almost makes me wonder how much these may not have hardly ever gotten used. And comps on these look to be about 15 a piece, give or take. I may lot them all up together so that or I may just do a multi-quantity one. That may be the way to go here. I'm tempted to just lot them all up together. But old audiovisual equipment, the box. There's folks that still either use it or need it for something, or nostalgia, or there may be sometimes the media hasn't been converted, and you gotta be able to read it or store it. So, or you got an old machine, all your ones are broke or worn out or something. I don't know. Anyway, I looked them up first because I wasn't getting anything that big and bringing it in without making sure it had saleable value though. If those were thinner, skinnier books, yeah, you grab them. But you gotta be aware of your space sometimes, and those are a little bulky, and so I needed to make sure those were worth grabbing before I put them in. So, anyway, that is all the sales today. Not planning on hitting any. I got stuff to do today that doesn't involve going to the thrift store, so hopefully I'll have some sales. Actually, I got a big one that I accepted an offer on, but it hasn't been paid yet. And I will probably review that tomorrow, as I expect I'll be paid by then, because I've been going back and forth with somebody about it for a week. So it's a pretty decent sized sale for me. So that was good. So we will jump back on all that tomorrow. Gotta get some stuff boxed up and some stuff going, and we will.